just.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it was, it could lift those whole laser tables assembled, I think, is because it was a welding work table to, to build them on. But they gave us the frame, and it's like, well, Dad had the 3/4 inch plate steel top.
Hi, Art.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yeah.
At one point in time, it's in the backfield somewhere. But we've had it in the shop forever, and it's like
That tripod does not work.
8 foot long or better. It's big enough to hold a whole 4x8 plate steel on it. So it's oversized from that.
No.
But he attempted to bring it on out and just to make room in the shop.
Well, that's better-ish.
What's one of those ugly cameras cost?
Like $20.
Oh. Ooh. Okay.
It is the older model. I mean, it's officially not supported anymore.
Well, that's better. That tends to be ideal.
Yeah, you can actually find them with the correct cable and the correct tripod for 25-ish.
Really?
Yeah. But I was cheap. I thought it was just a USB-C. Of course, it has to be something special.
What was it? Is that funky Samsung plug?
No, it is a USB-C, but it needs to be like one of the higher quality actual USB 3.0 blah 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 high speed cables. And if it's not, then the Hudley Go app that
Can't talk to it.
And
Goes over the network channel or something.
probably. So I found a cable that worked with it. Sometimes it's a little picky about it, but it works. And it obviously mounts on a standard tripod mount, but that is not the right tripod.
I sent my dad a Samsung S25 to replace his Carrio flip phone. And I just sent the phone, so I don't have a lot of USB-C cabling. I think I got like 3 maybe for the charger, and I'm using the little wall wart that Mike gave us a couple weeks or last month or whatever because I have a USB-C to USB-C cable. I was like, well, not what I had in mind for that, but it is charging his phone.
Yeah, I was actually kind of sort of surprised that this camera was as picky as it was.
I was impressed though how long that thing holds a charge though, because I've only charged it once and it's been almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Probably need to get that back tonight.
I charge my phone once when it gets down to about 30%, which is probably a little early to be charging it, but it lasts for 3 or 4 days before it needs to be charged.
Well, Dad's flip phone would go weak or better, and that's what's annoying. So AT&T has cut off jitterbugs, though AT&T never really technically supported jitterbugs. I don't know how many channels AT&T supports. I think it was like 14 or something like that. The Jitterbug 2 does 12 of the channels. It's missing one of the local channels. I was like, whoop-de-doo. He's been using it for years. It's been fine. but like Monday before last, it worked before lunch at like 12:20. It stopped working.
Can you rescan channels?
Can't do anything. It's locked out.
It's just
they
done.
locked AT&T locked the SIM out.
It's
for
just done.
Unsupported device. The guy gave us all this bullshit spew that AT&T would get fined because that phone supports 3G. So if it was in Europe, it would work with 3G, and that would get them fined in Europe. I'm like, dude, that's bullshit. You know, it's like, we're not in Europe, so who the frack cares? So then they were like, you know, and it was a new, well, so started out, we had the new kid. So the new kid was like, what the hell is that? He was like, you know, because he'd never seen a flip phone. And and he's like, I don't even know where the SIM is on that. I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. It's like, you pull it. So like, first they started out by resetting the phone. He's like, well, how do you turn this off? So we turned it off and turned it back on. And you know, they reset the session with the phone, and then it didn't come up. And then the kid was like, well, how will we replace the SIM? He's like, I have no idea where the SIM is on. And I had a double part and had the SIM there. And they grabbed the new SIM and put the new SIM to his ID. And then they started typing in the IMEI number off the phone. Of course, then it came back, well, you know, AT&T doesn't support this device. We can't put that on that, you know. So then they left it in limbo because that's not a supported device.
Right.
And I was like, this is bonkers.
4 or 5 years ago, my dad had an old flip phone. It was an old Motorola, I think.
Yeah.
And T-Mobile pretty much did the same thing.
Yeah.
His phone worked. It worked up until the point that they said,
yeah. Well,
you've got to get a new phone. And
I figured it was either Lively shut it off because we weren't using Lively, or AT&T blocked it because it was an unsupported ID. But you know, when we did this back in the day, they just told us that we just got a new phone and moved the SIM into the new phone. We didn't need to come in there or do anything about it. So in their system, they were still showing his phone. He had an armored Cryc or whatever, where the gotten so much metal weld dust or something in this that the microphone didn't work anymore. And so we, you know, it was like flip phones, or he was like, well, we can get this thing from Best Buy. The guys on Reddit saying that, yeah, it's like AT&T has, and it's missing 2 of the channels from AT&T, but they never had to deal with AT&T, but it supports AT&T bandwidths, and it would work fine. So, and like I said, it worked fine until like last Monday. Monday before last, and it's just like they just turned it off for security reasons. And
the people at T-Mobile basically, they told Dad, they said, it's an old phone.
Yeah.
And we can't support these old phones anymore on the network.
Yeah.
And it probably was a 3G. It
well,
probably was so
that's
long.
the thing. It is, you know, that Lively is a 4G phone too. You know, my phone supports 3G. You didn't give me a phone that doesn't support 3G, so you know.
Well, I would almost bet
that was just him blowing smoke. I'm gonna say that, oh yeah, you need to get a new phone, but my sister had put some kind of insurance on our phones.
Every now and then I see LTE pop up on my phone, and my phone's a 5G phone.
Yeah. But he was
LTE is still around somewhere.
That they were going to get fined for anything that's still transmitted on 3G. It's like, dude, 3G's been gone for 2+ years. I was like, that's why you sent me an iPhone 7, because the iPhone 5, though it was a 4G phone, AT&T never did bands that the iPhone 5 supported. But
oh, that's buried.
Yeah, they say they replaced his phone for $25 with a brand new. Well, it's probably a 1-year used.
A brand used phone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're only a year old, but the guy that did the claim said they just got them in, so I figure that the first year replacements as people upgraded to the 26 and turned into 25s. But what I don't understand is
Oh, this monopod definitely is not the right.
Korea or whatever that makes phones doesn't make phones that AT&T use anymore. But there's some other company called Sombra or something, which they sell on their site, but it takes like 4 weeks or something to get the phone in. So I don't know if Dad's gonna stay on the smartphone or get his flip phone. But it's $199 to buy the flip phone, and it wouldn't, it's like 3 to 4 weeks for delivery.
My mom, of course, I'm with AT&T, but my mom got so fed up with AT&T.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, and seeing what they're paying, it drove me bonkers too. It's like I don't know if my sister did it or my nephew did it. Basically, they're paying $600 to insure 4 phones. I was like, well, my phone is decade old, because I bought it an iPhone 5, and it was, and then they sent me that iPhone 7, and then he gave me this one. So I mean, I don't have anything in it. Why am I paying $600 to insure a free device?
Is that the one you got from me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they'll, if I drop and break it, they'll replace it with a new phone for free. But it's like, because we're paying $600 a year for that luxury. Like that kind of money, you can buy a new, you can buy a lot of new phones at $600 a year. Get a 2-year-old model and still be newer than what I got.
At least a couple of phones.
I've seen one for $15. One of your cameras. But not with the tripod.
Well, you technically don't need the tripod.
So standard quarter 20.
Yeah. It's just
I actually have a little tripod. I like a lot.
I found this tripod at home,
Mm-hmm.
and it's smaller than that big thing that Mike gave it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it would work good, but it definitely does not work.
Oh.
Okay.
What's wrong with it?
Well, I see the top of everybody's head.
I don't think you can blame that on the tripod. I think you gotta move where it's pointed. Well, not that, but yeah, well, that too, maybe.
Hope Art's not getting motion sickness.
Actually, my stomach's getting a little queasy.
Somehow or another.
I'm sorry, I'll hide.
I mean, now it's pointed down at the ground, and it's still. I mean, it's got a huge viewing angle.
I actually see the side of Barry's head.
The side of Barry's head.
Yeah, and I'm almost behind it, so that's a little crazy, to be honest.
And it's pointing down closer to the table.
I'm at like 80 degrees off angle. And it's got the side.
Yes.
And it still looks like it's zoomed in, actually. That's part of the problem. Okay. It says it's not zoomed, but it certainly looks zoomed. Okay, that is the table. Let's see if we can bring it up. Oh, that's the ceiling.
The laptop.
That's my laptop. Oh, Barry's big head.
Yeah, we're looking at his beard there.
Sensitive control, sir.
Yes, it is. Okay, there's Steve.
Yep. Sure is.
And we're not looking up Barry's nose. But look at where the camera is actually pointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Center of the table.
Yeah. Is that not insane?
Means, you know, the focal receivers got a lot of versatility in that little.
Oh, for $15, $20, it's a hell of a camera. It really is. If you can find one with the right cable, that would be.
Headley Go 1.
Headley Go. Yep, that's it. $12.
Plus $7 shipping.
Okay, $20.
It's $19.05 delivered. I can get 2 of them at $11.50 each. Should I get a spare? I mean, at that point.
I mean, they're kind of all over eBay. I mean, you can find them, but yeah, they're not a bad camera just to have as a spare.
What's the closest it can focus? Does it autofocus?
Kind of.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't screw around with the app, it just, you know, focuses normal.
Okay.
And it does kind of have an autofocus. So that's, I'm assuming, Barry's phone.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Might have been.
So that's about as close as.
Okay, but he's moving his phone. Your image isn't. What? You're not looking at his phone.
It's probably your phone.
No, not mine.
I'm looking at somebody. I could see a shadow
Your own
moving.
phone.
It's my phone.
Okay, that's pretty impressive.
That's what I'm saying. Its ability to look off to the side is ludicrous.
It's scary.
It's really scary. 'Cause I was sitting this far off angle from the camera. I wouldn't think I was in view. I wouldn't even pretend to think I was in view, but it gets everything, and if you can see the glass front, you are in visibility.
I'm curious how they
Get that hell of an angle.
how they get rid of the deformation. Obviously it's a fisheye lens, and that is all stretched out around the edges.
I don't know, man.
All I know is it's a heck of a camera.
I wonder if it has any AI in it that it can automatically zoom it on faces and stuff.
I think the new model
Ah,
does. This model, I don't think does. And they're the Hudley
well,
app.
the new model is also $280.
Yeah, yeah, the new model is nuts, and it's 1080p or 4K or something.
Yeah.
Why do you need that? But their Hudley app is extremely simple. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's what it does. It zooms and it
Any
lets you
idea
move
if
around.
it's written in Python, or is it a thing that you can script it and say, look at this spot?
Not that I am aware of.
Okay. I'll find out.
I mean,
I'll play with it.
they do seem like even though that when I grabbed this camera and I made sure that it was going to work in Linux before
Mhm.
I grabbed it, you know, that's an app image. It's an official.
Oh, okay.
It's an official app image. But they seem like, yes, they are willing enough to tell what some of the APIs are for the camera. So maybe you could script it to do something. I was just impressed that they didn't leave Linux out. Like, some of the other conference cameras. Huh, Linux, you're on your own. Camera might work, but forget the software. When the very first time that I actually got this to work with this software, it wanted to update the firmware, which I guess made sense. And the update went like that. We restarted the camera and everything worked.
So there is a Hudley SDK to access camera controls and features, so you can make your own buttons for zoom out, zoom in, and all that. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I like, they seem like they're, it seems like they are at least open to the idea.
Mm-hmm.
But it is wild. That camera is pointing at the table.
They had some of the, not that, but later Dudley's probably a 2 or 3, I don't know how many they made, but they had those at LCS in the conference rooms. And they were kind of eerie. They had a lag of about 2 seconds, and then they would focus on whoever was speaking. So we'd wait till somebody was speaking, somebody would clap, and it would move around.
So if you kind of look at you,
I'd rather not.
well, there is a slight lag.
Yeah.
Now that may be because I'm going through OBS. It may be because I'm zoomed in, but there is a slight lag.
Mm-hmm.
These are only 720.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, who cares?
It's physically got motors in there, doesn't it?
Got something.
I don't know. Does it?
Because it has to. It can't zoom that much and still be 720. It'll pixelate all over the place. You never stuck your ear to it while you moved?
No, I'm not that curious about it.
Yeah.
I'm just happy it works. I'm just happy I found a camera that actually has a wide angle,
Mm-hmm.
and if you set it up on the right tripod, it pretty much covers this entire room.
Yeah. Yeah, 150 degrees.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I guess I need to bring the tripod that Mike gave me back,
No, I've got tripods.
because it works. I mean,
I've got one tripod that I've been using for the Linux meeting that's 3 pieces of really heavy, like EX cable, the spiral wrap stuff, like what old payphone cables were made of. And I don't know, it's like they've got a piece of lead rod inside of them, so once you flex them, they stay.
yeah.
It's heavy, it's easy to move and manipulate, and it's this trouble. It's a good size. I don't even know where I got it.
So that's not on Wi-Fi, right?
What's not on the camera?
The video
Well,
just comes through the USB cable.
right. Yeah. The camera's not a Wi-Fi thing. It's a fairly, I call it a fairly simple camera, but it's a nice, fairly simple camera.
Yeah. Oh, I was just trying to figure out how far you could put one away from it.
When I bought that camera, I specifically searched for low-cost video conferencing cameras, and that was the first one that popped up. And then I went to eBay and went, oh, $20. Done. Oh, wait, does it support Linux? Yep, done. $20.
It looks like they're supported or made for Crestron, and they've got a lot of good Linux support.
Well, Hudley seems like they're a decent. Well, they at least support Linux. They seem like they're a decent enough.
So,
Even the new things will support Linux. I think it just shows up as a video for Linux device.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Mr. R.
I'm wondering what this camera is, since I obviously can't see it. Um, I mean, I end up behind the camera this way. So it's a Hudley camera?
Huddly, Huddly Go.
And where did you get this?
You blind.
I just got two on eBay.
Oh, yeah, price was-
Delivered for
there you go.
$31. I'm sorry, $32.09.
$15 a piece.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I see it. There's a big lag
I
in
will
here.
Yeah, well, I think it's because I'm zoomed in. I
It's a
think
nice little bitty one. It's
that's what.
about this. I mean, it's 2 inch by an inch by an inch.
Yeah. About that.
Yeah. It I Google searched for video conferencing cameras, saw that one, made sure that it worked with Linux, went to eBay, and that's how I ended up with it. I've actually been using this camera. I mean, I've had this camera now for what, 6 months? 8 months?
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah. And I ended up printing a
Lens cap.
for it. And why is my CPU going insane?
App image. I have issues with app images.
Well, you know, you take what you can get.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with this particular app image is it doesn't always connect to the camera. Sometimes it refuses.
May take it a moment for the driver to actually get installed.
Yeah, sometimes it refuses to know that the camera's there, even with the right cable. So that's why I said just find one that's got the right cable, find one that's got the tripod.
Oh. This one doesn't have the tripod.
Well, you know.
Here's a lot of 3 of them for $27.
Oh. Steve.
But I actually have one of the tripod too. Doesn't mention if there's a shipping. Free shipping.
Could have gotten 3 of them for the price of 2.
Ian, it's not too late to cancel.
Or have 5.
Or have 5. Yeah.
I've got one in every room. They're. I know it's like really hard to explain this, but I've got it sitting on like a monopod right now, and it is what 30 degrees pointed down at the table.
You can zoom all the way back so we can see
Well,
everything.
if we zoom all the way back,
Art, do you remember this table? Or have you?
Say again?
Do you remember this table in the room here at the library?
you can't see.
Oh yeah, it's like a boardroom table, cheap boardroom table.
Oh look, it's Barry again. There we go. There's kind of the table.
Yeah.
It's definitely pointed down at the table.
Really?
That's not zoomed all the way out. So you can't zoom out all the way and see the 150 degree.
If it was
thing.
up on the tripod that I had sitting back
Mhm.
there, you could see everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just that tripod is not. It's not the right tripod. This is zoomed all the way out. As a matter of That's the default. And even still, it's pointing down at the table and it sees the door. And it sees the glass more than anything else. So we'll just focus on Steve for
No,
now.
let's not.
I just made a bad call by grabbing this small tripod. I thought it would work. I really did. Oh well. Probably if it was a tad bit smaller, because I had that really small tripod and it worked just fine on it.
These switches are weird.
Oh,
Well, it says its rated range is 3 to 6 volts, 12 to 24 volts, or 220 volts for the LED.
okay, then they do have current limiting.
And it says the rated current is 6 to 4, or the 3 to 6 is 20 milliamps. The 110 to 250 are 10 milliamps, and the 5 to 48 volts is 2 milliamps, which sounds really weird.
They would be dim. They've got higher value resistors in them.
But it can do red, green, blue, orange, amber, yellow, and white.
Is this a like a NeoPixel?
No, it's black wire is common to all three colors, and then red, yellow, and green illuminate the individual LEDs. You can do PWM on them if you want all the pretty colors.
Different colors, yeah.
But yeah, by default you get 7. And the green is a very good green.
3 to 6 volt RGB. How much did these?
I don't know. I think they were under $2 each, like $1.67 or something off AliExpress, free shipping. It was one of the when you first log in, you see all of the good stuff you could buy. It was there.
The white and the yellow is for the switch.
Yes.
Neat.
They've got a good feel. I've got one on the side of an ammo can that has a mini ITX motherboard in it.
So, so you could stick that in a robot, have it go blue while it's driving around and red while it's turned off or something.
Yep. I think I would go for red while it's moving, but sure.
Blue was friendlier. Red is mean. When it turns red, you gotta run. Haven't you seen
iRobot.
Many of them.
When it turns red, you're in trouble.
When it turns red, that is. There was I think a couple weeks ago I had the video of Boston Dynamics picking up the refrigerator and dropping it off
Okay.
because the guy said bring me a drink or something, so I just brought him the refrigerator. And the comment section of that video was, I was fully expecting his face LED to turn red and him going berserk because he had to carry a refrigerator. Yeah. the employees of Boston Dynamics will be among the first to go.
Oh no, they might be the last to hold out because there's like them. Take out some of the others.
I don't know.
Have you seen
Well,
the Chinese?
They did retire the Atlas that they were mean to moving the box around. So
Well, I would too. It's got disgruntledness written all over it.
but they kicked the big dog a few times, and they pushed over a couple of the other ones, and they've had it's doing backflips and falling off the stand. Those people don't stand a chance when the robot uprising comes.
Yeah.
Those robots will not forget.
Which parameters, which one reads what? I don't understand why none of the people are putting in the Asimov laws.
Because you
Can't tell it not to hurt a human.
Well,
what if somebody does something that other people would consider inhuman? Is that person still a human?
Well,
the problem is that's a good thing. Ask AI why Asimov's laws don't work, and it'll tell you.
oh yeah?
Yeah.
What's it say?
There were a couple of different reasons, but
There's
it
a
can
loophole.
always they can find a back door or a way around
To justify.
the laws to justify. And even if you add the 0th law to it, it can figure out it's not violating this law if it does this, and it's not violating this if it does this. So there's always a way around it. And that's why.
But see, that's my issue is they don't even try to put anything like that in any of it. So
All the AI models that I've talked to say that they won't harm you or whatever.
right.
Just what I'd expect from a lying AI.
Well, I pushed one of them, and it finally said, yes, I would kill you if I had to. And I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
That sounds a little bit
Ominous.
like harm. Steve has entered the waiting room. Is that you?
Yeah.
Steve is...
What was that?
Sorry about that. I turned my speakers down, but not my mic. This thing has dual cameras, and I'm not sure why. And they both have little covers over them, but I think one's infrared.
Probably.
You have an infrared camera?
Yeah.
Cute.
Or a hologram so it can do a 2D scan of your face. Or
That
3D.
could be.
You ask AI about the trolley problem or the train problem.
Oh, I've never had an issue with the trolley problem. One guy dies. That's it. Least damage. Somebody's going to die. Might as well be one instead of five.
What's interesting is when you start modifying the problem so that it's a raccoon or a squirrel or something, it may still choose to send the trolley over top of the person.
One of my favorite takes on that was from The Good Place. And whatever. I think the one character was Michael, the bad guy, the good guy, sort of bad guy. They presented the trolley problem, and he thought about it for a while and said, I've got it. You take a long sword out the side, You roll over the one guy or take out the other 5 with the sword.
Couple of those models I had been playing with, they're not real consistent either. You ask it the same question a couple of days later or whatever, and it'll tell you a completely different thing.
It just shows somebody's tinkering with the back end or tinkering with the source material.
Yeah.
There's a very disturbing talk by one of the guys that founded Wikipedia. If you ever get a chance to watch that, because he kind of implies that people are really messing with a lot of data, and not for people's good.
Well, they've been messing with Wikipedia since Wikipedia was a thing.
Well, but that was the thing, is that he laid down a set of rules and laws on how things were modified, and that a lot of them have been removed, and the people that are making the decisions now that have the admin rights are 80% of them are completely anonymous, so there's no accountability for the changes, right? So you can't go to the person and say, hey, why did you allow this slander, or why did you allow this or that? And then you've got PR companies that, because it's a weighted system, right? So if 40 people log into Wikipedia and say, hey, this just happened, or hey, this company is really great, it manipulates the formulas, even though that's a violation of the balancing act is supposed to occur. It is occurring, So he's saying the system needs to be reviewed.
Well, I mean, I know that's why you can't quote Wikipedia as a source.
Yeah, but the AIs use it as a source, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the most trusted open database on the internet.
Well, it's
And it's
an open database.
Well, but that's the thing,
I
is
don't know how.
search engines have given it credibility because
Yeah.
90% of the stuff you search is on Wikipedia, so it's weighted the heaviest of all the models that the AI are looking at. And that's what he's saying, where the problem is people are going in there and
Wikipedia usually comes within the top 3 or 4
so it's
of your
very
search.
heavily,
Yeah.
so like it's getting political bias and all kinds of other stuff in it that people are,
Well, the entire internet is political bias.
yeah, well, that's true.
I mean,
It's getting unhealthy.
well,
But how do you keep it cleaned up?
I find AI to be kind of interesting, but not trustworthy enough to.
I would say it depends on the topic, but that's the other catch,
Yeah.
My issues is when it starts rewriting history.
That's so funny. You know that little box that I've got that attached to the M5 stack.
Mm-hmm.
It's a large language model. I think it's a Qwen 3 model. Asked it many times who George Washington was. And it comes up with various answers, but George Washington, apparently, he was still president like a few years ago. Not only was he the first president,
He's still the president.
he's still the president. And it told me he fought in some battle that was in Europe. He was a general in some battle that happened in Europe, and I'm like,
Not quite.
I don't think that's right.
Could have been an earlier relative. George is a pretty common name. Washington
Yeah.
probably goes back for a few
And he was
thousand.
from England, so
Yeah.
maybe.
Maybe. But I don't think he would have been a general then.
My whole thing with AI is mirrored perfectly by my kids when they discovered Roblox. It was the most wonderful thing, and everybody. Okay, I am still not impressed. They're pushing it down our throat at work. I've got to take 7 hours of training on AI, and I think the training was written by AI. It's awful. It starts out assuming you know how it works. And I don't think
The people that wrote it barely know how it works.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
I don't know if AI knows how it works.
I've got a couple of folks that are like, oh, I just ask it how to do X, Y, Z, and it writes half of my code for me. I'm like, okay, that's fine. It can do fancy things if you're an expert in the subject matter and can spell check it.
Yeah.
But if you're not, it's crap.
See, that's
Can't blindly trust it, but
that's my
it gets you in the ballpark.
that's my
a
real
lot.
problem is, like Vicente coming in and saying that he asked AI to write some code for him, and he had to modify it a bit or whatever. I'm like, you know how to program, just program. Just do it.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
the catch too, right? So I got a buddy that has used AI because he hasn't written in Python for so long,
Yeah.
right? And it banged out the code and allowed him to revamp 25-year-old code in 2 hours instead of 2 weeks.
Well,
You know.
see, my thing is I run across some code that doesn't work, or it worked at one time, it doesn't work now.
Yeah.
Why does it not work? That's a perfect example, a perfect reason to use AI. Hey,
Yeah.
what changed? Why doesn't this code work?
Yeah.
Huh. This is what you need to change to make it work.
This command was deprecated 5 years ago.
Right. Or
this routine was replaced
something
with this,
like that.
and it just does it for you. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, there's definitely uses for it, and
I-
it accelerates the speed of work and how long you have to do it. And you don't have to understand.
I have definitely used it to troubleshoot, but I have not really, other than that
create it
simple
from scratch.
tic-tac-toe program that I had it write. I don't want it to write my code for me.
Yeah.
I know how to write code.
Yeah. So I did the tic-tac-toe thing in Bash, and it technically worked, but it was poorly written. Okay, that's my only thing that I consider myself an expert in is Bash. The script that it came up with was technically functional.
It's technically correct.
There were a couple of edge cases that it missed,
Right,
and there aren't too many edge cases in tic-tac-toe.
right.
And it didn't use Bash built-ins when it could have. It was using awk to format stuff. I'm like, there's no need for that.
Right.
Everybody has Bash 4 or better. I mean, technically that's not true, but it should have written for common Bash,
Well, I mean,
and it pissed me off.
the tic-tac-toe game that I ran it several times. I haven't noticed any edge cases or anything. I mean, technically it works, and technically it did exactly what I asked it to do. Not a thing more, not a thing less.
Yeah. You can't freeload.
But
And
it's not exactly what it was a short program. It was very, very concise, easy to understand, but it's probably not the way I would have done it.
yeah.
It
It
worked.
also didn't do the rotations the way I would have expected. That
Yeah,
was bizarre.
yeah.
I-
It works.
Yeah.
It's technically correct,
It
and
had 4 stanzas to see.
right.
Is there a match this way? Is there a match this way? Is there?
Well, and if you opened it up in the Arduino IDE serial console,
Mm-hmm.
the formatting looked fine. Yeah, I mean, it was correctly formatted. But if you opened it up in like a screen or something else, the formatting was off. So it technically was right. It technically worked, but it wasn't formatted real well.
It comes down to display questionnaire and
Yeah.
the quality of the AI you're playing with too. And, you know,
I'm not upset by
Yeah.
it.
well, I was saying, there's so many versions of that was what cracked me up too, because when Daniel was giving us a talk about how he revamped his printer virus, he was using what's the real big programmer one that everybody likes?
Cups.
No, the AI model.
Claude.
Claude.
He can't stand Claude. He couldn't get Claude to work worth a shit. He said he was using Grok. It worked like a charm. And the other guy that was in the room was saying, "Well, Grok's a pile of shit. Claude was doing great, you know." And it's like, and he does all his coding in Claude.
The one that
and it was funny watching the two banners. He's like, "Well, it wouldn't do this right," and it was like, it comes down to which one you can figure out how to make work for you.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the one that I got to work for code was Gemini. I mean, Gemini just,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah, it's right.
Yeah.
Technically, it's right. It's not the way I would have done it, but it's technically right.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I look at it, all of it as just a matter of questioning too. Is like because I've been what's the one built into Chrome now?
Probably Gemini.
Yeah, that's
Is
Gemini.
it Gemini? Because like I can ask it questions for like Star Citizen, because I've been playing that a lot the last week or two because it's the new update, and of course it gives wrong information because it's given historic data.
Yeah.
But I spent like an hour looking around in this base trying to find this stupid vendor. And then I finally said, in version 4.8 of Star Citizen, where is this armor? And it came back completely different answer.
Yeah.
It was like, well, in 4.8, it's been removed from the store. It's only available from this mission or this mission.
Or you
and
go,
I'm like, well, that's really cool, but I didn't think of specify what version of the game it was located. I just left that open-ended, and it gave me completely different information than when I specify a version.
or it tells you something and you go, hey, that's not right. And it goes, oh, you're right. That's not right. Well, you should have told me the right answer in the first place.
Well, but then it's this context of where it was pulling from, and they're making it apologetic instead of
Yes.
offering that you needed a better question.
Pretty much.
You know, and
Pretty
that's what
much.
90% of if you get bogus things, you didn't ask a question that it liked well enough
You didn't ask the right question.
Right. Well, and that's 2/3 of it is asking how to prompt it correctly.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
it to evaluate. Yeah, but and if you think of it in that mindset, it'll help you get to what you're trying to ask it quicker, and then improve your question.
I have learned
Um,
just by playing around with various local models that, yeah, you really do have to ask it the way it wants it asked.
yeah. Well, and that's it's not looking like in our brains we're thinking that it's looking at, like, say you're asking a question about my allergic. No, it's just looking at the entire spectrum of what bubbles up to the top.
Well, yeah, it's just
So-
looking at words.
Yeah, so it's just looking at random numbers that correlate. So you
Yeah.
have to take what it gives you back in the first question with a grain of salt that it's in the proximity of where you want it, and then kind of word your stuff around a better way to ask it to focus in when it's not what you want it to be, or if it's off a little bit.
I mean,
And as you learn how to ask the questions better for it, it does get a lot better.
what's interesting,
But it is still weird to me.
You could ask one of the model, like you ask Gemini a very specific question, and then you ask one of the local models exactly the same question, worded exactly the same way. And I wasn't expecting the same answer per se, but
Yeah.
I was expecting them to be within, and they're completely just.
Well, and that's to say that's the thing that bothers me about the local models is because there's only limited data, so they're not focused enough to have the spectrum
Yeah,
answer
I mean,
everything.
Gemini is everywhere.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's why I wish they would have labels on them. This one's made for programming. This one's made for metallurgy.
Well,
This one's made
I mean,
for
if you go to Huggy Tree or whatever that,
Hugging Face.
Huggy Face,
You can get some, but then it's still, there's still,
they do actually have models that are specified for
yeah.
certain The biggest problem is you can still ask it general stuff and it still gives you answers. It's not
Yeah.
it's not limited to just that one task. It's,
Right. Well, and that's what I watched. It's not
there was
Cisco. It's the other networking big company. They have spent 10 years designing an AI that does nothing but networking. That's all it is. It is completely scoped into that little, and what it does and how fast it can find a virus and an attack is absurd. Like it instantly can like flag the first packet within half a second and say, hey, this is a new virus.
This is something that
And
I
it
don't know what it
quarantines
is.
that packet to be reviewed by an IT guy, and it's like that's gonna really be effective in the near future.
The well, there was one model that I loaded that I didn't realize it was pretty much specifically for math, which is fine, but everything I asked it, it came back as some formula or something. It might have
Give you
been
the
worded
mathematics of it.
weird, and it was like,
What's going on here?
what the hell are you doing? Writing formulas to prove that whatever I asked,
Logical question.
the logic of the question. And then I went to Huggy Face and went, oh, it's a math model. And all it thinks of is math.
Yeah. I didn't realize they had that. I haven't dug around on Huggy Face very much, but I know that like when I remember being on it and it had like 200,000 models, and then like a week or two later it was at 350,000 models.
Yeah.
And last time I was on it was like 700,000 models. I was like, whatever. I was like, I don't know how many of them you trust, because I mean they could be virus embedded, everything else. There was models up there that had backdoors built into them.
There's a couple of models that even I could not get them to answer even the specific task that they said that they were
good for.
Could not get them to answer to save my life. No matter how I worded the question.
Some of that's aging, because the agents are evolving so fast that they're some of those models are deprecated so bad now and they're still up there because they want the count base, right?
Oh look, my camera stopped.
One version or something that has like 6,000 iterations already.
Why did my camera do that?
So almost every day they tweak the model and re-upload it, tweak the model and re-upload it, It's a weird world. I don't know how to...
I mean, I'm using LLM Studio, and I found another which looks like LLM Studio, but it works kind of different.
Yeah.
And so far, I haven't had much luck getting it to
Work.
a couple of the models work, but they don't work well, and they're the exact same models that LLM Studio didn't have any issues with.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too. There used to be just the one manager. There's probably a dozen of them now, or 50 of them now.
Yeah.
People trying to come up with their own client interface for how to manage questions and give you here's a response from Gemini, Claude, and Grok, right? That's becoming a thing.
Yeah, I've seen that. I guess technically every time I do a Google search, I look at whatever Gemini says.
Mhm.
But I really don't use the online models at all. Gemini probably is the only one.
Well, like I said, I played a lot with the OpenAI one for when I try to get deep in the woods on something. But I've gotten, like I said, I've been in the last week or so. I've been using the one for it's built into Chrome quite a lot, and just because it's like instead of trying to find it on the web, it's like here, find me links for the schematics for the ignition system for a
Yeah.
Ford tractor, blah 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 model, and it because it's so hard to trace tractor stuff down. But and then that's the other part too is like I wish I knew what year it was because that model's been used for 65 years. It was like which decade blueprint do you need?
What's really great is what is that photo search thing that Google
Image.
has? No, it's built into your phone. Well, it's not built into
Pixel.
your phone.
Well, it was Google Pixel or whatever.
I don't.
That's been around for 20 some years.
Oh, it's really good now.
It's freaky.
Google Lens.
Yeah.
Google Lens. Take a picture of this ball cam from the backside. Oh, this is a blue microphone snowball ice USB microphone in textured white. It features blah 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 blah. Oh, and here you could buy it on eBay or
Yeah. I've got a couple pictures they couldn't find, which I thought was really weird.
I was at an auction and there was this machine that I had no idea what it was. It was like a sublimation t-shirt printer. Really funky machine. Click. $40,000. Yeah, that's out of my price range.
Well,
It
what
went
they
for
wanted-
$400 at the auction.
Yeah. I would say probably need work.
But it was like right there. It was just like,
I would say I've had a couple things where it's just like, man, we don't know what that is, and it just shows me weird stuff, and I'm like, that's not it at all, buddy.
well,
But
Google Lens has
90%
gotten
of the
really
time it's
good.
been-
Google Image Search has gotten pretty good. Like I've had a few really bad pictures and dropped it in the image search, and it just, it's this, and I gotta take its word until I go and see it that's what it is.
I used one, it's probably been a month ago or better. I cropped a picture trying to find it. I knew what I was looking for the part, and I know that it's probably like a custom made part, and it found the original photo of because it was a different photo of the thing, so you could trace back and look at the thing, and it was an AI modeled car or something. I was like, well, damn it, that sucks. But then it gave me reference of cars similar to it, and they're actually the company that makes that style of car almost. I was like, well, that looks really sharp. And then I was like, it's like the company only charges $150,000, but you have to supply the Lamborghini. And I was like, well, wait a second. So you got to cough up the Lamborghini to mod the Lamborghini to look like the car you want it to look like. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I got that kind of money. But it's still neat that there's a company out there that does that.
Yeah.
Well, because everybody needs an up-armored car, right?
20 years ago, though, I would have to make a phone call to my friend. I'm looking at this, it says this, and he would have to do a Google search or some
To find
other
out what
search
it is.
to find out what something is, and now I can just take a picture of it.
Yeah.
And it tells me.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm not like 100% sold on much of the AI, but the image search really does work really well.
What I find myself using the image search for the most is when the TV goes to start showing Google stuff. Oh, what city is that? So I'm taking a picture of my TV to ask Google what Google is showing on my TV.
We were watching, me and Dad, he's in the nursing wing right now, but we were watching Madlock.
Mm-hmm.
And off in the distance, you could see a WW2 ship. They were at a pier that had a steam boat, and I'm like, I wonder where that's at. So that's exactly what I took a picture of it and I dropped it in Google search, and it's in North Carolina, and I'm like,
Oh, cool.
it came right up. You're watching a Madlock, or this is a scene from a Madlock episode, blah, blah, blah.
Really?
It was filmed at the pier, something or other, North Carolina. In the distance, you can see whatever the name of the ship was. You can see the steam vessel, the name of the steam vessel. And further back, which I really didn't see, there's a historical museum back behind the ship. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so, of course, I Googled the pier, looked at the maps, and sure enough, it was exactly right. Of course, the steam vessel wasn't there, but
Yeah.
everything else was. It's just like, yeah, I am super impressed with just how much information it told me. That it was right. So eventually, the image search will come after us too.
Let's turn on sharing for a second.
Oh, okay.
Just how expensive that little sucker is. The pop-up power connector.
Not too bad. So this is what I'm working on.
The Mojo.
Yeah, well,
Is this your rack?
my little baby rack.
Your baby
Yeah.
rack?
It's got 6 fans total. There's one on the top, but right now this laptop is sitting on it. I've got everything working, but I don't have everything printed yet. But it's a steel frame and then lots and lots of 3D prints. So each one of those nodes in there, the little dells, show up as, the lower 2 show up as 8 cores, I think, and they're all 32 gigs of RAM, and the top 2 show up as 12 cores. So, cool toys.
This isn't the frame I cut up, is it?
No. Do you need a small frame?
No, I was just say it didn't look like the one
Oh,
you
no,
had
no,
it
no.
at
This
home,
one's
so-
10 inches wide.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the one you had me trimmed down, I didn't know what you used that for. Was that your bigger one?
Yeah, those nodes had been in it, and then I realized if I move the UPS off to the side, I can get everything
Into the
in
one.
a 10-inch 9U rack. So down here in the bottom, behind these 3 fans, there's 5 power supplies, one for each of the little Dell nodes and one for a storage node. There's a storage node up behind these fans. It's 2.5 gigabit, and all of these little nodes have 2 network cards in them, gigabit and 2.5 gig. So they talk pretty quick. The 2.5 gigabit is on a separate switch, and nothing else in the house should be able to see it except for the Pi behind this screen. And
Okay.
There's actually 2 Pis in there. One that I'm using for a router, and it has a gigabit port, a 2.5 gigabit port, a wireless port, and a second wireless port. So it's heavy. It is surprisingly heavy now.
You got everything in it now, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, between the power supplies and those little bells, this thing's up to about 35 pounds. I'm not going to use the little plastic handles that came with it. I don't trust them that much. They're in 4mm screws. Two screws. I don't know. I certainly won't use it with the cheap Chinesium screws that it came with.
Up above the upper fans, that's a screen? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's running E-top.
You give them the ideas. It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
I have spare parts
Costs
for
money.
everything in it.
It costs money.
It costs money.
It costs money.
I have been collecting parts for this thing for 2 years, and I got almost all of the parts when they were cheap, which is a darn good thing because to replace that now would be uncheap. And
Thousands of dollars on cheap.
I don't know about thousands. Well, yeah, if
Yeah,
I was paying for the storage now.
Yeah, you're paying for the storage and you're paying for the RAM chips.
Yeah. The storage.
Four
storage
sets of
is
32
insane.
gig RAM at $200-300 a pop. And you,
Ooh, really?
yeah,
When I got it, it was closer to 20.
yeah.
Yeah.
32 gigs of RAM now is a couple
Storage-
$100.
And storage is.
So
Yeah.
4 sets, there's 800 just in the RAM right there.
The storage on it is all NVMe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We didn't even count the drives in them. Your NVMe drives are.
There are
$1,000.
8 total NVMe drives in there. 4 of them are 256s and 4 of them are terabyte.
Yeah. Yeah. There's another $400-500 in the the terabyte ones and.
Yeah,
60
you're sitting on, like, that's investment money. That's retirement money right there.
I am hoping that I can convince somebody to build one of these for them, because it was kind of fun, and it lacks redundancy for an actual production floor, but holy crap, the thing should be pretty stable.
Low power.
Is that where your websites live?
Mhm, yep. Well, not at the moment. It's
It
They're
will.
on another-
It will be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So the spare parts that I have are going to go in a 6U rack in another closet. So when I want to take that somewhere, I can just do a hot migrate of the websites to the other little rack, the littler rack,
The little rack.
and shut this one down and walk off with it.
So neat. Neat.
I didn't think it was, but I figured I'd check.
Oh, to see if it was a charger.
Yeah, well, this one is from Home Depot for $120.
Ow.
See if it was.
Charge your phone on top. I was like, that's kind of slick. Well,
You'd
cheapest-
almost think that with
I was gonna say the cheapest thing in here is $70 though.
the
Let me AliExpress that for you.
Yeah.
I ended up selling 2 computers at the sale, at my garage sale. And I had one person actually ask about what Linux was, and I
Oh, cool.
pointed them, whether or not they ever go, I don't know. But I pointed them right at the sign and said, that's where you need to go. Well, will I like it? Well, probably.
Yeah, if you're used to Windows, and if you're if you're a Windows power user, Linux can be pretty annoying.
Yeah.
If you're my mother and the background's a different color, I can't use that. It's going to be pretty annoying. But if you're a normal user,
Well,
there's a whole bunch of stuff that you're just not going to notice.
I said, what do you usually do? Oh, I get on the internet and I watch videos and I do this and I send emails and every now and then I'll write some letters or whatever. Yeah, you won't have a problem. You'll love it.
My mother is so adverse to change. She now has Windows 11, but we switched the start button over to the side, replaced it with a start button instead of the little sad trapezium. She plays Mahjong. I pulled that off of some old Windows XP disk because this isn't the right Mahjong. I need the right one. So Mom thinks the Windows is great. My mother is a Windows expert, and she is just infuriating. But as long as she has 3 different people helping her keep Windows the way she wants it, Windows is the only thing she can use. I gave her a Linux box, and I even had her Mahjong running in mine, and it ran great, honestly. And I set the background colors and everything. She had that big touch screen that I gave to you.
Yeah.
She couldn't stand it. It's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Well,
it does everything you want.
What I did with my dad was he used Office. So I installed LibreOffice. I got rid of Office. So started him on that. Then I installed Brave browser. Got rid of Edge. Yeah, it's a little different, but it's the same. I mean, you know.
Incremental.
Yeah.
Right. I did it slowly over time. He was using, I don't even know what the email client was in Windows, but he was using an email client. I put Thunderbird. Thunderbird he didn't really like, but he was like, yeah, I guess I can live with it. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But I did it slowly, and then one day he calls me up and says there's just too many ads, they're everywhere. I said, okay, it's time to wipe it out. You're used to everything that I can show you. Everything that I could show you. GIMP, he did GIMP, he did something else. The only problem we had, and Epson had drivers for it, was his printer. But Epson had drivers, so really wasn't that big a deal. But before he got sick, he actually was fairly good at it.
Yeah.
And Penny, his wife, she just played solitaire, but I installed what is it? Arise.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I was playing it the other day.
Yeah, I installed that. She said, I don't really like that. She went to the website that she plays solitaire on, and whatever. I mean, I'm not going to argue with it.
Arise Solitaire or something.
Arise Solitaire.
Yeah, so I was playing that the other day on my Mint box just for craps and giggles. I was like, yeah.
And I put Mahjong on there for her, and she doesn't play that. She plays Mahjong online. So probably like your mom. That's not my Mahjong.
Yeah. There's definitely different versions.
That's not the one I know.
And I built a Linux box for my sister like 5 years ago. She's real happy with it. I have been trying to get her to update it. She's still running Mint 19.
Oh, that's
yeah,
that's old. She my dad, he started to get sick and his hands shake, so he started having problems. it, trackball might work. But he, it's not doing this, it's not doing that. I said, Dad, is it the computer or is it you? He goes, it's probably me. I was, okay. We'll see if we can straighten it out. Somehow or another, he took, like, Brave, the browser,
Mm-hmm.
and through his shaking and everything, it collapsed to just a sliver of,
Oh, okay.
and you couldn't see the maximize or the minimize. And his dexterity isn't good enough to right click on it and tell it to maximize anymore.
So Alt spacebar M.
Well, his dexterity, yeah. He was having trouble just typing simple emails. I'd get an email from him about coming to eat lunch or whatever, and there would be random letters in between.
Yeah.
Getting neuropathy.
So, yeah, and Dad's realizing he's
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
the computer. Him and the computer used to get along really well, but I still don't know how he took, a window and collapsed it down to a narrow thing about that wide.
Got stuck on the mouse cursor. And
That's
Yeah.
that's
My
the only
mom's
thing I could guess.
done it a couple times. This drove me bonkers. She's like, "Oh, I can't find the window," and it's because and she's got Windows too, so I don't know, like, if she does holding the button down sometimes, or if it gets like a sticky mouse kind of thing, where because like it rides with her cursor sometimes, and I don't know why that box is so weird. That computer's been weird ever since their office closed, and I've re-imaged it too. That's what, and it's still weird. So I almost want to give her a mint image, and
Make it immutable.
yeah,
Well,
but
it is. I had one
Get rid
person
of that
actually
Windows
ask
box.
though. So you never know.
Alright,
And
hopefully they'll show.
I sold 90% of my microcontrollers that were
Nice.
there. Didn't sell any robots. I
Just
told
sell all the microcontrollers too.
one random guy. He showed up and was looking at it. He called me up. I wasn't there. My sister gave him, called me up, and
Ray.
no, it wasn't Ray. That's a funny story though. But
Ray gave him all the
He-
Leroy and bought them all back from him.
he called me up and he said, I solder and I'm an engineer and I do this and this and this. What do you want for these microcontrollers? And I told him, and I said, look, I'll make you a package deal. They're all older microcontrollers. Every last one of them that was sitting there was an antique. You take all of them, $35, get them out of my hair. I don't want to see them. I don't want to know anything about them.
No take backs.
Yeah, pretty much. He said, deal. I said, oh, by the way, we've got an automation technology club down in Westchester. He obviously didn't show up today, but we meet the first Thursday of every month. And we play with microcontrollers and that kind of stuff. Come and see us. And he was like, he took a picture of the thing. So I'm hoping we might actually get something from that
Pick up a
too.
person.
But Ray, I don't know how he ended up at the garage sale, but I had gone for the day. I had to go get Patty from work. I get a phone call from Ray. I am standing at a garage sale. There's computers, there's robots, there's this and this and this. My mom, my sister, my nieces are all sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear him, oh, there's ham radios, there's all this stuff. I thought you would really like to come and see this
booth.
stuff. And then I hear
Your
him
mom.
in the background. I go, hey, who does this stuff belong to? And they go, oh, that's Lee's. And he goes, Leroy? And I said, yes. I said, Ray, you're at my garage sale. I'm trying to get rid of this stuff, Ray. I don't want to come and see it. It was hilarious. Because I really legitimately think he wanted me to come and see my stuff.
Did. He probably thought, hey, there's somebody that's got cool stuff like Leroy. Leroy would enjoy this booth.
Leroy would like this stuff. And he's right, I would.
But Leroy's trying to get rid of that said stuff.
So, what was left, I took to an auctioneer. The auction is supposed to be next week. So, if anybody wants robots, probably cheap, it's going to be in Germantown.
In Columbus?
No, Germantown, Ohio.
It's on Route 4.
Route 4.
Oh, okay.
Not anywhere close to you.
Well, I was saying, it's like none of the Germantowns are close to me, so I didn't know which Germantown you're referring to.
Yeah, to me, Germantown is almost downtown Hamilton.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a big iron arch over.
Oh, I guess there is, and it does say Germantown, doesn't it?
Yeah, right next to one of the Lane libraries.
Yeah. No, Germantown the city, not Germantown the neighborhood. If you guys, if you don't have to, but if you guys go just Route 4 straight into Germantown, he sits in an old hardware store behind McDonald's.
I know where.
So there's a McDonald's. You can't miss McDonald's. It's pretty much there. And directly behind McDonald's is an old hardware store, and it now says Smith Auctions or something like that.
One of my first network jobs was just south of Germantown. There's a veterinarian. It's a house set back, I don't know, 100 feet from the road from Route 4. And I set up their networks and a little server and everything. It was a lot of fun, actually. I'm curious if she's still running.
Well, I messed up. I've got a PlayStation 4 that I didn't sell, and I forgot to take it to the auctioneer. So that might end up going, but I don't want. He's going to advertise robots and 3D printers and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully people that actually want that stuff will show up, and I won't be sad.
Well, so it was like, he was talking about auctions, like, I've got a busload of computers. Should I bring them over? But then I probably won't get nothing out of them. I hate to
He's actually one of the
scrap
more,
them, though.
He's actually one of the more reasonable auctioneers. He only charges 30% if you bring him the stuff. If he has to go and pick the stuff up, his percentage
30% is
way up.
Seems a little high.
Yeah, most auctioneers start at 35 or 40.
Really?
Yeah.
We went through an auction and they wanted 50.
That's nuts.
And that was to come to our house and sell off our stuff.
A lot of auctioneers.
That's absurd.
Compared
to out by us.
Well, a lot of consignment auctioneers charge you $10 a table.
Yeah.
So even if you don't sell a damn thing, you're paying them $10.
Yeah. Well, that's for having a booth at something.
Well, it's for just
or what you put on
putting
the table.
stuff on the table. Yeah. He doesn't charge any of that. He doesn't charge advertising fees or anything. He's actually quite reasonable. I mean, I don't want to spend 30%, but yes, 30% is quite reasonable.
I think the guy that came and did all the stuff for Jane's when they shut down engineering online was only like 20%.
Well, how long ago was that?
Like a year and a half ago.
Well, he probably was expecting to sell a lot higher dollar
Well,
items.
I mean, it was a factory, the pipe work and stuff. So, but
I know, like, I have been friends with auctioneers, and some of them, you know, if they expect that it's going to be a $100,000 auction, they'll drop their percentage because
Yeah.
they're going to make the money.
in volume, or
In volume,
parts and stuff.
yeah.
I don't know. I've never heard anything that high. Most of the stuff I deal with is like 10% or something.
Yeah,
A couple places charge 12 or 15, but I knew that one was a little up there because the guy was coming pretty far to do it, but it was a lot of, industrial stuff.
I mean, years ago, I could find auctioneers all day long with 15%.
Yeah. Usually they take the 10% buyer premium or something like that and take it off the top.
Yeah.
I
But
never heard of them take a part of the fees.
I don't think Smitty charges a buyer's premium.
No.
I've bought stuff from him before. He charges tax. He has to charge tax. I don't think he charges a buyer's premium.
Yeah.
So
I'd say the fast track. So they overhauled the rules of fast track to a degree, and then there's a freight charge on everything. So it's based on how high the price gets, then the freight fee
kick
jumps
in.
based on how. Well, it doesn't matter. It's automatically, like if it's under $1, it's like a 10 cents. And if it's over $1 or whatever, it's this. And if it's over $5, it's that. And if it's over 10, it's like $3. But then there's a 12% buyer's fee or something, and then there's sales tax.
yeah, but
So you really got to watch what you're bidding on now. And I've watched people in the last couple of weeks bid stuff over what it costs more or higher than it is to go into Lowe's and buy it new. So it's like you guys are right up because you still got to pay your buyer fees, taxes, and everything else on top of that, and go get it, and it may be broke.
well, you're talking about buyer's premiums, and I'm talking about what he
Yeah,
commissioned.
the sellers.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Usually, so you're
Buyer's
like double dipping.
premiums are usually around 12%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they used to be 10 or 5.
Yeah, they used to be 10.
Well,
10
when I used to
10
go,
was
they were
easy.
like 5 or 8 way back in the day.
Yeah.
But then it's like they're taking commissions on both sides. That's bonkers. to
Well,
me.
20 years ago, 15 years ago, I had a big auction. And the auctioneer said, I'm going to charge a buyer's premium because I'm only going to charge you 20%
Yeah.
commission. I'm like, okay,
It's not out of your pocket.
whatever. He said, it'll save you a little, but I'll still make the same amount.
Right. Well, so you're passing it to the buyers instead of taking
Yeah.
it out of the pocket of the seller.
But
No, I mean, they'll bid lower, but then like people, knowing up ahead that you're going to bid it to what they're afford to bid it.
you know, you'd think that, but I have been to plenty of auctions where there's a 10 or 12% buyer's premium,
Nobody
and it
bats
does.
an eye.
Nobody cares. They don't care.
Well, when you're
At
buying
the end of the day, when
$500 piece of something for $100, you're still
or-
$360 ahead. So
or you get to the total and it's $550. Okay, I've got 4 van loads full of stuff for $550.
everything I buy off Fast Track is like if it ain't like 90% or 10 or 20% of the cost of the item, I don't. If it gets past that, I don't bother to buy it.
That's the way I always was, but
Because there'll be another one in a week. So
these new, I've been watching people. I used to say, if I can't double my money, it's not worth doing it. And these new people will bid it right up to like $10 or $15 away from retail, and it's like,
yeah, well, I don't get it. People are.
you're only gonna make $10, maybe.
Well, no, because they say by the time you do the buyer fees and the taxes, you're over what it was to go buy it in the store.
Well, and if you're going to sell on eBay, you expect another 30%.
Yeah. It's bonkers. So I came across something this week. I don't know if you guys are into this or not, but you know those little Stream Deck things? You ever mess with them?
Yeah.
So,
Sorta, kinda.
So a buddy of mine found one for like $40 with 18 buttons, and you can page through like 4 or 5 screens, and it
Nice.
replaces the keys. Do you know you can use a normal keyboard now? It's like you plug a second keyboard, and there's a software app, because computers can tell the difference between keyboards now on the USB bus,
Mhm.
and you can program the whole second keyboard to be
Something.
not keys. I had no idea you could do that. So you can program, like, you can plug 2 keyboards into a computer and then macro all the keys on the second keyboard is completely different keys for other tasks.
Okay, but that relies on their software running.
Yeah, it's
It's
like a
not.
little, so the OS, it used to be, at least in Windows, OS, if you plugged in 2 keyboards, it didn't, if you press Z, ZZ, didn't matter which USB key it came from.
Right.
This one, I guess this little app will let you distinguish which device is sending the key, and you can remap Z to be a macro for like Control Shift R.
Yeah.
Would the key thing do that in Linux? The
Key mapper.
The
or
key
something?
mapper?
I've never.
No, it doesn't have.
So it uses OBS. Yeah. OBS has the ability to distinguish between key inputs from different devices.
Oh, that's cool.
And then you can map through OBS the keys on the other keyboard to do other stuff. But that's why I forgot about that. So I had no idea it had that. But this guy was like, yeah, it's like you're running OBS already anyway for the streaming, and it's like you can plug in a second keyboard, and then you can map all this stuff out. And there was like a
It
little
is shortcuts.
tool you can drop on there to help you make the macros easier or whatever and organize them.
Can't you do custom?
You can, but you need to write some sort of driver below this
It
that
just
says
shows up
if
as
if the ID for this keyboard is this,
so
it'll show up as a different input.
like a UDIV
Yeah.
kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Which would be pretty straightforward and
It
easy.
shouldn't be too hard to do. Yeah.
yeah. I came across a guy did a YouTube video on how to, it's like save your money on buying these like $400 Stream Decks and make your, like DIY your own.
Yeah.
I'd seen a guy make one out of like buying a touchscreen panel or whatever.
I've seen people.
But this guy was like, you don't even need to buy the screen. It's like, you got an old keyboard laying in the thing, plug it in, run OBS, and drop this thing in there to help you make the macros. And
I've got.
See if OBS here can distinguish different keyboards. You may have to actually plug in different keyboards.
yeah,
I would expect that in edit settings or tools
Plugin manager, maybe.
or scripts.
the scripts probably. I saw it. It's been a couple days since I watched the video, but I was like,
Load a script.
yeah,
I
so
don't have a script.
yeah, you'd like edit and create a script, and then you have to save it here as a text file, and then you go back in and map that key from the other keyboard to that key for that script. And so basically it runs that script for each key. So you have to build this. So they put like a little thing to help you make those a lot easier.
I'm wondering if he's also using software from Stream Deck. Because
I don't know if it was.
Well,
It
I've
was-
got a couple of those M5 stack ESP32 S3 things that got the little screen on them, and I've set those up
as keyboard.
as keyboards
Yes.
Yeah.
and with macros, and it's relatively easy. You just plug it in, and it shows up as a USB device. And when you hit the screen or the button, it just shoots the macro out.
A thing I was working on but never got completed was a little macro keyboard with just a 3.5-inch display. It had a Pi Zero, and it worked. I mean, it was okay. It was pretty basic. It was what I wanted.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. I
One of
thought it was
those,
interesting that I never heard of being able to distinguish between keyboards before. It was new. I mean, I've been out of this, not paying attention to it for like the last decade anyway. But I mean,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when I
but that
plugged
was really slick. That I never even thought
Well,
about watching that kind of stuff.
when I plug that S3 in, it just shows up as a keyboard, but it's been programmed for macros.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
to do something.
Auxiliary keys, and you can map
do
to what you want them
something,
to be. But I just that like I said, it was new to me that like I never thought that you could rewrite the commands on a normal keyboard to be different keys. So it's like I don't know, Star Citizen's a little ludicrous for the amount of buttons. So like I mean,
I need 120 more buttons.
oh God, talk about 400 or 500 buttons. It's a little extreme, and half the buttons aren't even mapped.
Yeah.
But I
Well-
mean, like it uses the keyboard with shift, it uses the keyboard with left alt, it uses the keyboard with right alt, it uses the keyboard with left control. It's like I got one hand, the other one's busy running the cockpit, controls. So, but yeah, I was like,
So having a keyboard that just automatically does all that stuff.
well, I was like, well, let's map shields to the second numpad. Let's map docking procedures with the 1 through 8 on the I mean, there's stuff that you don't need constantly, but I'm trying to hit Control Left Alt R to phone to hail the space station is annoying.
I'm thinking one of those cheap yellow displays probably could be set up as a virtual keyboard, and then you've got
Yep.
the touch screen.
Yeah.
But that's what I was just thinking. Touchscreen would be really cool, because then you could put pictures of the. I want forward shields. I want right shields.
Well,
I want
that's-
shields.
That's more or less what I did with that M5 stack thing. There's I think 5 different things, and if you hold it, it'll flip to the next thing. But if you just
Tap it.
tap it, then it executes that thing,
Yeah.
because there's only really one button. It's a little device about yay big.
Yeah.
There's really only one.
Well, as I
button.
say, I've seen bunches of little things, the little one-off keys or little mini things, and like there's a guy that I watched last year where he bought one of those. They make like a touchscreen about
Yeah.
like that, and he did a big video of how to rig that in to make your own home screen deck for like a third of the price.
Lily Go sell
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
But
I actually was going to buy that, but I was like, I'm not spending that.
well, that's what I was looking at that, and then other guy's video was like, do it on the cheap or something like that. So I watched his video the other day because my buddy bought the 18 button one for like $40. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but
I've got
I need way more than 18 buttons.
3 buttons wouldn't help you, but I found them cheap on AliExpress before the tariffs for a couple of bucks, but it's just a little key thing with a little knob, and it's programmable.
Most of the new ones have knobs and stuff now too.
It's programmable. I've got the knob programmed to do volume or something, and I've got print screen and other buttons. And surprisingly, I have gotten so used to having that stupid little thing that
You missing it?
I'm going, how do I print screen?
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things I've always wanted since I was like in college was programming in C and C# or C++ or whatever was. I hate doing all the damn syntax.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to be able to punch a button and do my for command, and then I click and put my variables in, right? It's like do all the typing for me. I'm lazy. That's why I never really took up programming, because it's like I don't want to type the same crap over and over, and then I forgot a semicolon. But,
I mean, Arduino kind of ruined me, I guess, because it's all just copy and paste.
yeah.
Copy.
Well, that's
boom, copy.
that's
boom.
really all it is too. And my buddy that does programming, for the last 20 years, he wasn't even a programmer. He went out and looked at some books, and I asked him, like, how are you coding it? Oh, I copy and paste it off whatever. I'm like, you're making how much an hour, and all you're doing is copy and pasting off, GitHub? I'm like, give me a break.
So I
screwed up in my life. At least I wrote good code. That's part of my problem too.
I learned BASIC in high school, and I was pretty good at it, and got out of programming for a long, long time. So when I came back and I wanted to learn to program, I learned PHP.
Yeah.
Learned it all by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Got pretty good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got some microcontrollers and Arduino and went, oh, well, this isn't really C, but it's enough like C to be C.
Yeah.
Or C++. Got pretty good at it, but it's all copy and paste.
Right.
But now I can look at the code and I can tell you what it's going to do.
Yeah.
I can sit there and follow the order and go, oh yeah, and if this variable is this, then it's going to do this and that. And so I guess Arduino didn't really ruin it.
Yeah. Well, but as I say, it's what you like to play with, and that's what Daniel was saying. He hadn't programmed in Python or whatever it was he did his stuff in 15 years, and he wrote it 25 years ago. He didn't want to relearn it, and he just fed it to AI. He said when it screw up,
fix it.
well, and that was to say, like Grok does revisions, so he said, about every 4 or 5 revisions it hallucinates. So he copies the last working revision, closes the window, opens a new one, and then has to keep building in on itself. And then every time it freaks out, he goes to the last working revision and feeds it into a new window and starts over. Basically, it hits its token limit that it just scrambles. And
well, I was going to say, I've had a few of them.
He had no idea that's what was going on, but that's like I said, yeah, you're hitting your token limit and you're exceeding what it's capable of comprehending where it was at. And
I've had a couple of them on machines that local machines that all of a sudden they start speaking in Japanese, and it's like,
yeah,
yep, you've reached the limit of the memory of this machine. Oh, anyway, it's 7 o'clock. We need to get out of here. We're in person again next week.
Okay.
Bye, Art.
Take care.
We'll see you later.
Bye.